We at Walk 'em Out Breeders Club in Phoenix, New York. And I got Blue Ivy on the stat box. The one and only Doc Fizzle here. We got Blue Ivy of Nyce Kennels. Nyce Kennels and Blue Ivy are going to become members of the WOBC. They're registering with the WOBC. We got our first Fluffy Frenchie registered with the WOBC, everybody. Thanks to Nyce Kennels for joining the WOBC family. It's going to be fun. This is Doc Fizzle. April 15th, we got the 3rd annual King and Queen of New York going down in Auburn, New York at the Finger Lakes Mall Event Center. Admission is $25 a person, $10 a dog. Come on in. Somebody gonna win an American Bully Belt. We got 5 classes for this, for the Pocket, the Standard, the Classic, the XL, and the Exotic. We also got the King and Queen of New York going down. And we got the 13 Color Fun Show. So come on out April 15th and represent. Bring what you got. It's time to stack it up or shut up. Shout out to Nyce Kennels. Check him out. Follow him on YouTube. He's got a lot of nice things going on. He does promotion too, so hit him up. He can hook you up really nice. He inboxed me. He inboxed me and said, "Hey, yo, I throw shows. Threw up some videos. If you need to promote anything or anything like that, hit me up." I think it took me like 5 days to get a hold of him because I was really busy, but I did, and here we are. Well, I just give a shout out to all the sponsors of the WOBC. I'd like to give a shout out to Houston Bullies. I'd like to give a shout out to Brick House Built Bullies. I'd like to give a shout out to Finger Lake Exotic Bullies, Something Serious Bullies, Break Your Neck Bullies, Bite the Bullet Bullies. Oh my Lord! I mean, I could use Black Sheep Kennels, Too Exotic, New York Boogie Bullies. The list, I could go on forever. I can keep going, but you get the point, everybody. I give a shout out to everybody. Everybody that's involved with the WOBC, I shout you out, man. Just because I can't remember everybody, you see I went through a lot of names right now. So, you know what I'm talking about. Ears, fool. Show them ears. Okay, everything. We got Fooey here, aka Firecracker. We'll open them up for the stud fee at $500. Total for just to open them up at $1,000. We'll open them at $1,000. Lock them in at $500. Stack it up, buddy. Yeah. There you go. Stack it up. The first show we had 10 people. At our first show we had 10 people. We were outside. And then we grew from that. Word of mouth got out. The second show we got bigger. That was out under a tent. The third show was even bigger than that. When I knew I had to start going indoors is when we had a show on a Halloween and it was raining and my back was packed. I mean, it's a good size out back, but there was a lot of people and it was just muddy. So that's when I figured out that we grew big enough to get an indoor facility. So that's when I started doing the shows indoors. And then when we started going indoors, we didn't get a very big spot to start with neither. We got a spot that was just big enough for us to have a couple shows. After the second show there, we had to get a bigger spot. So we just been growing. I mean, after every show, the next one's bigger. We have more people attend. So it's like the word of mouth gets out. So it's been a wild ride, let me tell you. Okay. Let's say 2010. I went down to Pennsylvania. See, I've been a game dog guy. I've been into game dogs since 1998, real pit bulls. So everybody knows what people with real pit bulls do, so I ain't even going to get into that too much. But I started with the real game dogs, and then in 2010, I went to Pennsylvania, and I went to this bully farm with a friend of mine. I didn't know it was a bully farm until we got there. And this old man came out. He went to the big red barn, opened the doors, and like 60 dogs came running out of that barn. All sizes, from puppies to grown dogs. And I'm going nuts. I've been around game dogs. I'm going crazy like, yo, why are you letting all these dogs? They're going to start fighting. And I stood there for 2.5 hours watching them dogs run around the pasture. And that's what I was like, yo, these dogs, their temperament was crazy because, like I said, I was around game dogs. And my dogs, I had to strategically set up in the yard so they didn't fight with each other. I had to put dogs next to each other that actually liked each other so I didn't have problems. So when I went to Pennsylvania and I seen that, that's what actually turned me on to looking into that breed. Because like I said, we talk shit about the bully dogs. So I was into the game dogs. So we talk shit about the bully dogs. We talk shit about blue dogs. And if it wasn't a game dog, we talk shit about it. But that's what actually changed my whole view on the dogs, because I seen 60 of them fuckers run in a big ass pasture, fenced in, but they was just playing around with each other like it was none. So I was like, huh. So then in 2012 is when I actually got my first bully. His name was Chingo Bling. I got him from a friend, and that's all she wrote. A couple months after that, I got my female. And then 2012, that summer of 2012, I had my first bully litter. No, I don't use raw food. I use, now, I use the kibble on the bullies, but now if I was working game dogs, I'd use raw food. So and the reason why I would use the raw food on the game dogs is because they're athletes. Versus the bullies, not really an athlete. It's more of a heavy built, muscular dog where, you know, you want that muscle tone and weight on them. And when you feed a dog raw, in my opinion, they're just getting the protein that they need to stay lean and fit versus the muscular, heavy set, girthy bully. Breeders should treat their customers just like they treat anybody else. I mean, your customer is, if you actually are dealing with a person, you want to be upfront with your customers. All right, you want to tell them what they need to know. You don't want to try to put shade on anything or anything like that. Just be upfront with your customers. Let them know what's going down. Treat them like you would your brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Treat them like family, because that's what they're going to end up being in the long run. Some of my customers ended up to be my friends. I mean, that's just how it is. And some of my friends, they ain't even my friends no more. So it's if you click with the customer, I mean, you know, shit, this is what the game's about, right? Getting out there, knowing people. So you should treat your customers just like you would treat anybody else. Advice to give to new breeders: do research before you get into the game. I've been doing this since 1998, and there's a lot of ups and downs. I had a yard full of dogs. I had 25 dogs at one time. And if you don't do your research and get into it too quickly, you're going to lose a lot. What you want to do is you want to do your research on what you're going to do. Do your research on the bloodlines. Make sure the dogs that you're getting are correct, and make sure you're getting the dogs that they say they're giving you. Do your research. You want to study what you're getting into before you just jump into it. Don't think it's a get-rich scheme, because it's not a get-rich scheme. Do your research to make sure that you're learning the breed of dog that you're getting. Make sure that you're getting what you're getting that's correct. Because some people can say they got something and they don't. It's going to show. So just be prepared to take losses, because there are losses that come with this. Not everybody ends up with a healthy litter. That's just the way it goes. That's Mother Nature. So you got to have an open mind when you get into it. And don't have a closed mind. You can't think you know something. You can't act like you know everything. I learn something new every day, and I've been doing this for a long time. So you always got to have an open mind. With that being said, I think if the young ones try to come in and they just listen to a few people that they trust in the game, I think they'd be all right. I mean, like I said, you got to take your wins with your losses, because people get in it and they lose. People get in and they win. I make sure my stud will complement my female. I don't outsource very much, so I really don't go outside of my camp looking for my studs. I produce the main stud I have in my yard, and the other stud that I have, I co-own with a buddy that produced him. He's a Shamrock son. So I actually got old school Denzel blood with the new school Shamrock blood. So I actually don't outsource for a stud. I use what I got, and if you guys see my studs, you'll know why I use my studs. Not everybody's got what they say they got. Not everybody's dogs are officially match their pedigrees. Everybody knows that. So it's hard right now, because so much of the paper hanging and stuff went on with some of the dogs. So, like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I know what dogs to watch out for and what dogs not to. Not that I won't outsource looking for a stud, because eventually I will have to, because my yard will be full of the same blood, and you eventually would want to get a different stud. But as of right now, I don't need to outsource for a stud. Yeah, the dog game changed my life so much it kept me out of trouble, yo. Let me tell you. I started in 1998, so I was young. I was maybe 20, 21 years old, 22 years old. So, what do 21 and 22-year-olds do when they're young? You know what I'm saying? Everybody does and goes, hangs out with their boys and gets into trouble and all that shit and everything else. And lots of people that know me know the people I hung with and shit, where they at. And they're not out here with us. So that's what changed. The dogs changed me. It kept me out of trouble. I had to focus on what I was trying to build. So the dogs kept me out of trouble. The dogs gave me what I got today. Let me tell you that. I wouldn't have the WOBC if it wasn't for my dogs, if it wasn't for the love of me doing the dogs. So they actually gave me what I got today. You know, they pay for this office. That's what changed. That's how they changed my life. They gave me what I have today. Well, we a young, upcoming registry that takes shit seriously. And if you actually want to take shit seriously, we take it seriously. I'm not going to mention no names, no show host names or nothing like that. But when we have our sponsors and sponsors come out and stuff like that, there isn't no guaranteed win. They don't buy wins here. You got to earn your shit. So we try to be legit about shit. We get some of the best judges that we can get that are confirmation ready, because that's what we focus on. We focus more on the confirmation of the dogs. We focus more on the registry, because that's what we are. We're trying to bring the registry to the people of New York State. So the WOBC is important in the dog game, because if you want to learn, if you're just upcoming and you want to learn how to do things and you're in our area, yo, we got members that are willing to help you. We got members out in the Buffalo area, Niagara Falls area. All you got to do is contact me. We can hook you up with the people in your area, and they can teach you what you need to know. So you're not going out to a show blind. You know, we don't just promote the WOBC. We promote the ABKC. We promote other fun shows. It's about the dogs. I really don't care who you are. If you into the dogs and you want to learn about the dogs, this is the place to be. My studs, my two studs, I got my boy Dude. I produced him. Dude is line bred Denzel blood. His father is champion Evo, Brickhouse Built Bullies champion Try Me, aka Evo. He's off of Denzel. I had a son of Evo that I bred to my foundation female, and she produced a female dog named Willow. I kept her, and then we bred her to Evo to create my boy Dude. So Dude is a dog I produced. He's line bred Evo, done right. He's very clean. I mean, he's very clean. Anybody can see him at any time. My second stud is my Shamrock son. I co-own him with my friend Anthony Harrison. He produced him. He got the Shamrock stuff and he produced him. So I had a chance to get him. So he's line bred. He's line bred Lucky Luciano. He's big red. He's got some Casablanca in him. He's a little short, compact dog. You can see him anytime you want to in person. It's important to go to shows so you can network. I mean, you're gonna meet people. You'd be surprised how many people are in the dog game. I mean, you'd be surprised at the people that you didn't know were in the dog game. I could tell you that two people live 2 streets over from each other, didn't know each other, went to a show in Pennsylvania. Now, these people live in New York. They went to a show in Pennsylvania. They only live 2 streets over from each other. They didn't know each other. They meet each other at the show. That's why you go to shows, because you could be 3, 4 houses down from somebody and not know what's going on. I mean, it's networking. You'll meet people. You'll learn things. You'll see what different experiences. I mean, shows. You travel. You go to shows. Doesn't matter whose show you go to. Just go to a show. You're gonna like it. You're gonna enjoy it. And especially if you're into the dogs, it's fun. I mean, everybody likes to have fun with their dogs, and this is something that they can actually do with their dogs. They could actually bring their dogs out to the show, get in the ring. You know, people stack off their dogs on the tables. They talk shit. Some people can't take shit talking, but then there's some people that can. So, you know, it's all in good fun. You know, you get out, you network with people, you meet people. You'll see dogs that you ain't seen. I mean, what? Go to a show. That's what you do. Just go to a show. Doesn't matter whose show you go to. Just go to a show. First off, you need a healthy female for whelping. You need to have all your basics. You need to have extra backup milk. You just need to have backup bottles. You need to have backup tubing if you do have to tube feed. You need to have all this stuff prepared just in case you have to go through all that stuff. Do a little bit of research too before you have a litter, so you know what to expect, so you know what to be prepared for. I mean, YouTube's got all kinds of videos that you can see where people got up there what you need, what you don't need, what you should have on hand, and the do's and don'ts, because you might, one thing might work for somebody, but it might not work for the other person. So just take in stride, learn what you can learn, and be prepared. My goals is to get as many dogs registered with the WOBC as possible. Growth. We've been growing since 2017. Started out in the parking lot. We've been growing a little bit every year. So just my goal's been my goal since 2017. Just keep growing. Just keep growing, get more people interested, teaching more people what they need to know the right way. There's a lot of people out there that'll teach you the wrong way because they try to hold you back. We don't do that here. We teach everybody the same because we want everybody to succeed. Because if a WOBC member succeeds, we succeed. So it doesn't matter. My goal is to just keep the WOBC pushing. We're going to end up being the #1 in New York State. We want to be #1 in New York State. I'm not going nationwide yet because that's getting ahead of myself. Let me do what I need to do in New York, and then we'll think about another state after that. My biggest loss I took in the dog game was back in 2006, 2007. I had a dog named Oreo, and needless to say, my son did not lock the cage up properly, and the dog got out and went up the street and got shot. The neighbors shot the dog in his yard because the dog was in his yard. So that was the biggest loss I took. I have never took a loss on a breeding or anything like that. Thank God. I haven't had no problems like that, but the biggest loss I took was my boy Oreo getting shot by the neighbor for being in his yard. My studs, well, that depends on which one. The Shamrock Son is $2,500. He's a $500 lock-in. My dude is $2,000, and he's a $500 lock-in. And the reason why the Shamrock Stud is the reason why it is because I co-own them, and I gotta be on the same page as the co-owner. So that's what we agreed to. So that's how the Shamrock is. That's why Scouts is $25 and Dudes is $2,000, because I own Dude. Shit, I could go cheaper on Dude if I wanted to, depending on the female. Depending on the female, you might be able to get a pup bag deal. So that's how we do that one. Okay, events we got coming up. We got April 15th, we got the 3rd annual King and Queen in New York, where you come down and get into the show and win some nice trophies. We got some big trophies going out. This is what we're going to have at the show here. Similar to this, we got 30 of these suckers. So we got that going down. June 4th, out in Niagara Falls, New York, we got the 3rd annual Bully Barbecue going down. out there. So get involved with that. That's a free setup. If you want to set up a tent or a booth or anything like that, that's a free setup. All you got to do is pay you $10 to get in. That's happening right at Something Serious Bullies, some 716 Bully Nation out there in Niagara Falls, New York. Then there's a few more shows in between. I got a cookout, a free-for-all, May 13th, going down in Foster Park. It's a free show. There's 10 classes for a 13 color fun show. We got 10 regular classes for the dogs. So that'll be posted. I'll be posting something about that here pretty soon. And then Nyce Kennels has got a show going down August 13th in Rochester. So he's got a nice show going down too. He's got some top quality judges coming in and stuff like that. So check that show out too. That's going to be a great one. I can't even say what big names he's got coming down, but he's got some big names coming down. So check him out, man. That's going to be a nice show too. That's in August. Then we'll have an end of the Bully Barbecue in August too, so that's going to happen in Niagara Falls. There'll be more posted on that. Follow me at Wobc Dogs, and that's on every platform: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Wobc Dogs. So I'm the one and only Doc Fizzle. Okay, we offer single registrations, litter registrations. We pretty much offer what any of the big registries offer. We're just smaller. And I like to get involved with the members and stuff like that. So we have yearly memberships for $100 a year. And that gives you 25% off all booths. That gives you discounts on registering your dog. So instead of paying $25, you'd pay $15. Instead of paying a $30 litter registration, it'd be $20 litter registration. You'll have access, all members have access to what we do here. We do shots and things like that, so you'd be able to get your dogs dewormed and shots and all that stuff at a reasonable price. We start the shots out at $10. We do deworming starting at $10. We do nail clippings and all that shit here for our members. So it's actually, we here for the community in a whole. So no matter what kind of dog you got, we here for it. So get involved. The relationship with Nyce Kennels, hopefully it's going to be a good one, man. So far, we just got to know each other here. We're getting to know each other. Hopefully it turns out to be a great relationship, man. It's all about the dogs, yo. So if we can help each other get to where we need to go and succeed and do what we need to do, I think it's going to be a great relationship. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to big things.